Hello everyone and welcome to session 3 on coding decoding. In this session, we'll be looking at few more variations that are being asked in coding decoding, such as symbol coding, substitution coding, random letter coding, and the conditional coding. So symbol coding is very simple. As you can see, there's an example on the screen that in a certain code language, the word star is written as $5 star 2 and the word to is written as $32 at the rate. And using these two sample codes, we have to find out code for the word oaths here. Just by simple observation, if we see the common word in both of them, the first common word is T, and we see T is coded as $sign in both of them. So we can conclude that the code for the word T is dollar. So we can put T, oats again has a T at the third place. So here we would have dollar. Then we see the next common alphabet in both of them is R. And R is coded as 2 in both of them. So here we can conclude that these symbols or numbers are used in order. So that means S should be 5. So we can put 5 here. A should be star. And we will take code for O from the word tor. So we would get 3 for O. So one important thing that you can notice here, the codes are given in the respective order. They're not given in the random order. Okay, and this is like very easy kind of question that can be framed on coding decoding. Moving further, coding by substitution. Let us understand what do we mean by coding by substitution. In substitution coding, a confusing word is provided by giving a different name for the word. And following the same pattern, a series of words is given. And then each word of the series is coded with some other word, which may or may not be true. Candidates are required to find out the code for a word in the given series and then provide the right information regarding the word. Let's see how the questions are being framed on this. So this is how a typical question on coding by substitution looks like. So if football is called hockey, hockey is called badminton, badminton is called cricket, cricket is called tennis, tennis is called squash, and squash is called chess. Okay, so in a certain code language, we have changed the usual name of these all sports. Now the question asked to me is that, then which game Sachin Tendulkar is associated with? Now we know the actual answer of this question should be cricket. He is a well-known cricketer. Okay, but in this language, am I calling cricket as cricket? No. In this particular code language, cricket has been called as tennis. So we are denoting the game cricket by a different name, which is tennis. So here my answer should be tennis, not cricket. You don't have to get confused by this. Look at the fact that what is going to be the usual answer, okay, and what in this particular language that particular usual answer has been named as. So this is very common sense driven kind of questions here. Let's have a look at another one. If train is called bus, bus is called tractor, tractor is called car, car is called scooter, scooter is called bicycle, and bicycle is called moped. What is being asked to us? Which is used to plow a field? Now, which particular vehicle is used to plow a field? We know the answer should be tractor. Tractor is the vehicle that is being used in the fields. So should I go with tractor? No, because in this language, tractor is referred to as car. Tractor is being called as car. So I have to mark my answer as car, not tractor. Just take care of this trap. Find out the actual usual answer using your common sense and see in the given codes what is the code given to that particular name and mark that as your answer. Now, random letter and random number substitution coding. Okay, let's see what is the usual structure of these type of coding decoding questions. So a number or a random word is given as the code for a word. Now these codes are not in the respective order as we have seen in the first kind of symbol coding where the codes were in the respective order. Here codes are in random order, and that is a very important thing that you need to keep in mind. Now codes are found out by looking at the common words and codes. We will understand it by looking at few examples here. So this is a random number substitution. In a certain code language, 134 means good and tasty, 478 means see good pictures, and 729 means pictures are faint. Now, what do we mean by random order? I cannot deduce here if 134 means good and tasty. I cannot take that 1 means good and 3 means and 4 means tasty. No, because the code sides, these codes are not in respective order, rather they are in random order. Now how do we find code, that which code is used for which word? Here we would use the commonality thing. Okay, so we have three sentences here, 1, 2, 3. We will look at the common words. When I look at 1 and 2, good and tasty and see good pictures. So common word happens to be good here. So the code for the word good should be present in both the codes, 134 and 478. I see 4 is common. So now I can conclude that the code for the word good is 4. Now when I combine 2 and 3, see good pictures and pictures are faint. I can see the common word here is pictures. So the code for the word picture should be in both of the codes. So 7 is common in both. So now I can conclude that 7 is the code for the word pictures. Now look at the question. Which of the following digits stands for C? C comes in the statement number 2. I have already identified code for the word good is 4. For pictures it is 7. So out of 4, 7, 8, what is remaining? 8. 8 should go with C. So our answer here should be that which of the following digits stand for the word C? Our answer should be 8. So one important thing that you need to keep in mind that the codes are in random order and not in the respective order. We find the codes by using or by testing the commonality in the given codes. Now, random letter substitution. Same logic, but here in places of numbers, we have been given some illogical words which do not make any sense in the English language. Again, we will use the commonality thing here. So we have three sentences here. 1, 2, 3. How can you go? Can you come here? Come and go. Let's see what is common. When I'm comparing 1 and 2, we can see the common thing is can you. Can you is common in both. That means the codes for the word can you should be present in this code also and this code also. So we see ka is common, ka ka, and ja ja is also common. So what we can conclude from here that the code for these two words can you would be ka and ja. We cannot specify which one goes for can, which one goes for you, but for sure combination of ka and ja represents can you. Okay. Now comparing 2 and 3. When I compare sentence 2 and 3, can you come here? Come and go. The common word is come. That means the code for come should be present in both the codes given. So ka and ja have already been allotted to can and you. So other common code that we can see in 2 and 3 is sa. So now we can conclude, as we have compared the common codes, that the code for the word come is sa. Now what is being asked to us here is how is here written in that code. Now can you come here? This was the second sentence. And the codes given are na, ka, sa and ja. We have figured out that sa is the code for the word come, whereas ka and ja, they refer to can and you. So what is being left out? Na, na, na. Na should be the code for the word here. Okay. So the code for the word here should be na. Again, we have compared the sentences, find out the common words, then we have looked on the code side. We have seen that if there are common words, then the code should also be common. Okay, so on the basis of commonality, again we have identified the codes for these words. Now this is another variation which is asked in random letter substitution. Here, instead of numbers or random words, we see codes are a combination of a special symbol. There's an alphabet and there's a number. Now we have to deduce what does each symbol means, what does each alphabet means, and what does each number means. Looking at the first sentence, which is given time simple plan. And in the code, I can see there are 4 numbers, 4, 4, 5, 6. Here if I see, time is a 4-letter word, given is a 5-letter word, simple is a 6-letter word, where plan is a 4-letter word. So there are 2 4-letter words, 1 5-letter word and 1 6-letter word. And also in the codes, I can see at the 2 places I have 4. At one place I have 5 and one place I have 6. So now I can conclude that this number, the number in the code represents the number of letters in that word. Okay. Now there are 2 4-letter words, time and plan. One is ending on E, other is ending on N. So I can see in one of the codes it is E being mentioned, one of the codes N being mentioned. Okay. So I can say code for the word plan should be and N4. For time, it should be @E4. 4 because both are the 4-letter words. N because N is the last alphabet in the word plan. Same goes with E. E is the last alphabet in the word time. Now we have to see what logic these symbols have. And @. Looking at the second sentence, And we have one more word here starting with T, that is tired. Okay, so tired, the code should be, tired is ending in D, it's a 5-letter word, and there's only one which has D5 and at the rate. So this is the code for the word tired. And there's another word plant here from P. So, and the last alphabet is T, T5, and there's one with the and symbol and one with the percentage symbol. I have to figure out what is the one which stands for plant. So I have two choices here. Coming to the third one, the word point here. So the code of point should be T5 and. Now I can deduce that, and whenever any word is starting with T, I am using the symbol and. So comparing the common first letter or the first alphabet of these words, we can figure out that if any word is starting with G, we are using the symbol percentage. If any word is starting with T, we are using the symbol at the rate. If any word is starting with S, we are using the symbol hash. And lastly, if any word is starting with P, we are using the symbol and. So that is the logic of the symbols. Then the second number or the alphabet in the code is nothing but the last alphabet of that word, and the digit which is being used in the end, digit is the number of letters in the word. So the usual code has been derived as the symbol, then the last alphabet of the word, and then number of digits. That's how we have made code for all the words here. Now what is being asked to us? Which of the following code is for plan and translate? Okay, so plan, last word is N, and if it's starting with P, the first symbol should be and it's a 4-letter word. So this should be the code for the word plan. Translate, it should start with at the rate, last letter is or alphabet is E, and it has 9 letters. So at the rate E9 should be the code for the word translates, and that leads us to the answer. That answer is the option B. This is the new kind of variant that has been asked in coding decoding couple of the exams. So if you know it, it's better. If you get a question like this, I'm sure you'll be able to solve it now. Conditional coding. In this kind of question, a matrix containing codes of different letters is given along with some conditions, and on the basis of given conditions and codes, the new codes have to be generated. Let's see how the question looks like. So here we are given a matrix. As you can see at the screen, there are few letters being mentioned and what are the symbol or digit representing each letter that has been mentioned. And there are few rules as well. Condition 1, if the word starts with a vowel but ends with a consonant, then the codes for the first and last letter are to be reversed. Condition 2, if there are more than 2 vowels in a word, then first vowel is to be coded as 1, second vowel as 2, and so on. Condition 3, if a word starts with a consonant and also ends with a consonant, then vowels are to be coded after coding all the consonants. And if more than one condition is applicable in a word, then apply them in ascending order of their condition number. That means condition 1 would be applied first, then condition 2 would be applied, and then condition 3 would be applied in the ascending order of the condition number. Now here we have to code the word attraction. First we will use this matrix and find out the code for the word attraction. Attraction. The first letter is A. The code for A is star. T is 6. R is and. A is again star. C is percentage. T is 6. I is 0. O is 8 and N is 9. This is the code just by using the matrix. Now we will apply the conditions. Now if we look at the condition 1, if the word starts with a vowel and ends with a consonant, which is happening here, because attraction word, the first alphabet is A, which is a vowel, where the last alphabet is N, which is a consonant. Then the codes of the word for the codes for the first and the last letter to be reversed. That means now this will become 9, 6, 6 and star percentages 6, 0, 8 star. This is after application of condition 1. Now we'll see if condition 2 is also applicable on this. Condition 2 says if there are more than 2 vowels in the word. Okay, so we see here there are actually 4 vowels. That means condition 2 can be applied here. Condition 2 says if there are more than 2 vowels in the word, then the first vowel has to be coded as 1, the second to be coded as 2 and so on. So we can see there are 4 vowels. So wherever there a vowel was placed, we will use 1, 2, 3 and so on. So the first alphabet itself was A, which is a vowel. So 9 will be replaced by 1. So 1, 6, 6 and then again A comes, second vowel. So the star will be replaced by 2. Percentages 6. Then I and O, they would be coded as 3 and 4. And then star. This is the final code for the word attraction using the given matrix and the given conditions. Let's have a look at one more question so that we can understand it better. Now we have to code the word sarcastic. So first we will write the usual code using the matrix and then we will apply the conditions. So S is hash, then star, R is and, C is percentage, A is star, S is hash, T is 6, I is 0 and C is percentage. This is only by using the matrix. Now we will apply the condition. Condition 1 is applicable if the word starts with a vowel, ends with a consonant, but we see that is not happening here because both the first alphabet and the last alphabet both happens to be consonants here. So condition 1 is not applicable. Now we'll look at condition number 2. If there are more than 2 vowels, we see we have 3 vowels. So this can be applied. If more than 2 vowels are there in the word, the first vowel to be coded as 1 and so on. So we have vowels at second place, fifth. Yes, these would be changed with 1 2 3, and the code will now look like hash 1 and percentage 2 hash 6. In place of 5 we have now written 3 and percentage. So this is after application of condition 2. After condition 2. Now we'll see if condition 3 can be applied on this. Yes, because the first alphabet and the last alphabets happen to be consonants. Now what does condition 3 states? If a word starts with a consonant and also ends with a consonant, then the vowels are to be coded after coding all the consonants. That means vowels, the codes for the vowels are to be written at the end after the codes for the consonants have been written. So after condition 3, applying condition 3, it should look like hash and percentage hash 6 percentage, and the codes for vowel were 1 2 3. There were 3 vowels. So this should be the code for the word sarcastic. So this is how we do conditional coding. There would be a matrix given, there would be few conditions, and we have to use the matrix as well as the conditions have to be applied, and there could be a lot of variation in these kind of questions. I'm sure now you'll feel confident enough to tackle such kind of questions. Even if a question like this comes, you know how to approach it, how to give it a start. So this is all about the different variations in which coding decoding questions can be asked in the various law exams, and as I said, this is relevant to every other aptitude exam as well. So hope all your basics and concepts have been clear in terms of coding decoding. So thank you, thanks a lot, bye bye.